So before we start, I will give you a bit of background on the product.
Okay.
But just looking at this screen, what do you think this product is? And feel free to click around, or you can move around, but try not to click into anything. Just based on what it looks like right now, if you can determine what you think it might be.
So I think, and probably Greg did tell me this, so apologies, but I would naturally migrate to this. This is a sort of a document, a storage facility that can provide me information on potential providers or particular insurance needs, whether it's line of business or coverage or whatever.
Okay, and that and you deduce that based on
provide lines on the bottom, lines of business and providers.
Okay, perfect. Did you find that to be easy to spot, or you found it kind of difficult?
That is there. It is. It's pretty similar from what you would expect to see. Actually, some of the stuff when you go on web pages, they hide those points at the bottom, so it's very visible.
Okay, great.
In the line of sight.
Okay, great. So you're completely right. What we've done, what this product is going to be, and it is we're rethinking the approach to the specialty directory. So we've really borrowed a lot of B2C principles in terms of the design of the site, and we've developed what is a truly keyword intuitive search that would allow you to search for any specialty product, pull up a product profile, as well as view all documentation required. It's very different from the traditional print directories right now, and that's basically what it is. So what we're going to be doing is a series of tasks ranging from logging in to performing some searches. As I mentioned, if you could think out loud, anything that you think you like, you dislike, that would be worth mentioning, and then just general comments along the way that would be good. So the first task is, and some of these are scenario based. I'm not a broker.
No.
They may seem a bit odd. So you already have signed up for insurance.
Yeah.
Sign in with the following details. These are your name and password.
Looks like I'm in.
Is this what any comment on that sign-in process?
No, it's straight similar to any sign-in process.
Is this what you expected to see? Would you prefer to see something more official saying that you've logged in, or is it very clear that you've logged in?
No, I think it's clear to me.
Okay, great.
Because you've got the login at the top, so I assume if it was my login at M. Williams, it would say M.
Exactly.
Williams.
So our first search, our first task really, is we're going to perform a search. A client has come to you looking for insurance for their drone. Perform a search in the words that you think of fit to locate appropriate coverage. Any comments on that?
Well, straight away it brings up first search brings up drones, Zurich, Canada. Mm-hmm. I do know that they have a particular package, so it immediately takes you to someone who provides that service.
Mm-hmm. Okay. In this particular case, you can see that Zurich is highlighted at the top. What are your thoughts when you look at that?
Actually, it's quite good because it gives you a maximum coverage, minimum premium, so it tells you what they can do and what it's going to cost, which is quite a good thing because often with a lot of providers it tells you what they can do but it never tells the cost, and particularly with drones being a new sort of emerging risk, if you like. People who've got drones will probably want to know, A, have I got an exposure, and B, what's it going to cost me?
Yeah.
And if they don't know what's going to cost me, they're probably going to ignore it rather than try to probably deal with it. Whereas if they see that and say, do you know what, it's only $500 a year, for peace of mind, that might be worthwhile.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So we'll do one more. In terms of just a basic search, one of your clients has an affinity for collection of antiques and fine art, perform a search for a product that you think would be suitable for that. Any comments here in terms of what comes up? What do you find you're drawn to in the listing first?
Well, I think it brings, firstly, it focuses on what I've put. So, you've got fine arts insurance. It's probably thinking, the system's probably thinking it's art, but under fine arts, I'm sure it's programmed to say fine arts probably got high net worth individual. So they've probably got jewellery, antiques. So it goes beyond just saying fine art pictures or items of that sort. So obviously it does give specific for fine arts, but then it goes, well, we've got a collection of fine arts, probably a high value homeowner, high end homeowner. I mean, it's all the language that particular provider uses, but it naturally migrates you to. I think the one there is home. I mean, you should say home insurance maybe, because it tells what it is. If I click, you've got 13 providers. So, that's the underwriting agency, which I've never heard of, but but I wouldn't do. So I mean, it brings up the majority that what you would expect it to bring up.
Yeah, and in terms of you made a very interesting point that you're looking at the product name. So what we've done here is this is exactly what the company is calling this particular product or program, and beneath it is the company name.
Yeah.
Is that how you would think of it? Would you prefer to see the company first?
No. I think that you want to know what the product is. The company is secondary to that.
Yes.
I mean, some of these they're specialty markets, and they're not going to be known to everyone. So not everyone's going to know who special risk managers are. Not everyone's going to know who Chess Special Risk is, etc., etc. I mean, frankly, I didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard of Burns and Wilcox, so they do commercial as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Perfect. Okay, so the next task that we're going to do is to find a specific company. And again, this is a scenario, so based on research I've done with brokers. So you have a restaurant client that's approached you with a hospitality risk that they need your coverage for. Your brokerage, however, has a preferred list of companies.
Right.
And one of those is April Canada.
Yeah.
Find the company profile and then determine if they do offer hospitality.
So I went into the search company rather than product, because I could see there was a drop down, so I wanted to see what sits below it, which I didn't know it was going to company, but it was. I then put April Canada into the search engine, then brings up the April Canada as a search item. I click onto that, and then it brings me up the details of the business, who they are, where they're based, headquarters, and it tells me what lines of business they do, and hospitality is a line that they prefer to run.
Is there any, in terms of you using something like, let's say, for a company that you know of or one that you don't, is there anything else on a product profile, a company profile like this that you want to know?
No. I mean, I think that this is going to be, frankly, more suitable to the non-alpha houses.
Yes.
Because the alpha house and the tier one brokers they've got their marketing strategy, they've got their panel of markets, and they're going to know who they're going to go to. But if I'm a independent agency somewhere that there's very few agencies, that's going to be good for me.
Yes.
So absolutely.
Okay, perfect. So the next task that we're going to do is more of a evaluation of the product listing. So you have a client that runs an adventure travel business in BC. He's looking for coverage for his ATV rentals. He's looking for $4 million in coverage for ATVs and snowmobiles. So perform a search and identify what you consider to be the most relevant product.
And we're talking about liability coverage here, yeah?
Yeah.
don't know the answer to this, but I wonder whether you can only buy the primary snowmobile coverage from ICBC, and then is excess above that?
So I'm. Is it the
TV coverage. This is I assume I don't know whether you're looking for auto risk.
I mean, it would really depend on
the. If they're licensed and it's in BC and are operating in BC, they're licensed vehicles. They'll have to be insured for the primary coverage by ICBC.
Right. Yeah.
So ATV insurance. So if I go straight up, off-road program, ATV, snowmobile, dirt bike, brings up Beacon Underwriting, so they're a specialist. I'm going to look at that. Premier do it as well. So location served, they've got BC. Mm-hmm. Coverage, accidents and property damage. So fact sheet. So that refers more to, looks like here refers to Manitoba, which more so than BC. Mm-hmm. All their applications are there. So if I click back on the search, to go back, I go into Premier, see what they bring up. Another option. Here it brings up an application. It gives you a fact sheet. So we're on the right one. Let's see. Not being from BC, I don't know what the rules and regulations are.
Me too. We have probably over 5,000 documents in the system. So it's always interesting to see that it varies so much.
But it varies, like obviously Saskatchewan, BC and Manitoba, they all have government auto. Mm-hmm. So if it's a licensed vehicle, and these may not be licensed, so maybe referring to non-licensed vehicles, if they're mm-hmm. licensed, the primary coverage will have to be provided by the government auto. Mm-hmm. Oh. And I assume if they're going on the public highway, they need to be licensed.
Right, okay. This is very small. There's only
So yeah, eligible snowmobiles, ATVs, all risk coverage, actual cash value. So this looks like, to me, this is more physical damage coverage, mm-hmm. Which maybe explain why, because the ICBC thing, or whether they're not licensed anyway. And if they're not licensed, then it's more of like a contractor's equipment risk.
Right.
So then this will tell me everything it's covering.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So
it's so it says refer to our motor program for licensed street motorcycles.
Right.
So this is very. I would say from this is very much an off-road type risk.
Yeah.
But yeah, it provides you everything you would need to know.
Yeah. Okay. Now, if you were to go back, just to this one, it's already at the top. Yeah. If you go back to the search result page.
Yeah.
So you just did that. It's interesting. What this we have a filter search results option.
Right.
In terms of how you typically use like searching for a flight or a hotel, do you tend to use the advanced search in general and the way that you tend to use?
It depends.
Okay.
I mean, typically not.
Okay.
I'm very specific when I'm searching for something.
Yeah.
But sometimes when I'm on Expedia, I do a map search and use that. So it will be depend on what I'm looking for.
Of course. Okay. Perfect. And in terms of the way that the filter search result advanced search option on the side is laid out, is there anything that seems maybe useless, could be worded a bit better, things that just seem a bit odd?
No, looks fine. Looks like it covers everything for me.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so the last one, we can select any one of these.
Sure.
It doesn't matter. We'd like to download, you click on to proceed with a particular application, locate and download the application form.
It's all there. Pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
2 clicks.
Yeah. Okay, great. And the last task that we'll do is to submit an inquiry. So before you apply, you have a question regarding the product. You don't actually have to do it.
Yeah. So very quick, send an inquiry, brings up like a typical like contact us box. Send it and go send. I don't know, go, but yeah, straightforward.
Yes,
very straightforward.
Great. So that really brings us to the end of the tasks. As you can see, it is a new take on the directory. If you have click around if you'd like to check out the
So what I question is, at the moment, is there a physical directory that you provide?
So we do. We have over the last 2 years been doing one.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, because print directories are limited in its capacity, but it's printed, it's outdated.
Yeah.
And you can't have this level of classification in a way.
Yeah.
So we do have one. My personal opinion is it's not very good, and many of the print directories aren't very good at it. And so we've had one over the last 2 years, and it's free for companies to list. You can pay for a premium listing and give away free magazines.
Right. Yeah.
This is going to be, that was a precursor. We have a research team staffing this completely.
The digital approach is everything today.
Yeah.
And I think that for me, obviously, 2 clicks and you're into anything really.
Yeah.
And put a couple of words in, just put ATV, it brings up 5 or 6 options. So I think, for everyone, it's going to be, a very quick and easy reference tool if they need it.
Yeah, if they need it. Yeah. I think that, we, at least in terms of our strategy, it's free to use. It's free to list. We have, revenue streams in other ways that we're looking at.
Yeah.
But, the goal is to get everyone in it, everyone using it, and for it to be the most comprehensive resource out there.
Yeah.
And we've, put the resources in place to make that happen. One of the things that we're looking at as next steps is creating, we're working actually, I don't know if you know, Thermal expert docs. They do, they're working a lot in the US with PNC Accord and forms. Right. And what we're looking to do is convert all of these application forms into fillable.
Okay.
Direct, save progress, direct submit, which is going to be our phase 2. So,
well, I think the electronic trading is the future. I mean, I come from the UK and we were talking about this 10 years ago. And we never really got off the ground, but certainly some of the broker management systems invested heavily in it probably 5 years ago, and they've got one product or a multitude of products, and it's all electronically traded. So it is the future. I mean, whether dinosaurs like myself think it is or not, it is the future. Paper is no longer required.
No. Sadly, but no, it's a good thing.
No, it is a good thing. I think that the reality is that we have to become more digital and to succeed and survive in this environment. You need to have a digital structure.
Yeah. And that's exactly, we're looking at this type of model across many of our other parts as well. Outside of insurance, wealth management, real estate, there are ways, that our readers can really access information on demand. I think in formats like this. For your brokerage, I mean, you guys are huge. You deal with very complex risks, and you obviously have contracts with many of the specialty markets. Is this something we in our strategy don't believe that this is the perfect fit for larger brokerages, but
I think it's like anything. I mean, I'm amazed how so prominent the MGAs are here, and the place they have in the marketplace. Because coming from the UK, and I moved with Gallagher from Gallagher UK 3 years ago now. We didn't deal with any MGAs. We just wouldn't deal with it. We didn't need to. I mean, it's like, so it was culturally very different for me with all these MGAs, and I couldn't quite get my head around it first. And there's more and more every day, and we have our own. So in that respect, so there is a niche room. But I think that we as a broker should be able to get everything we can from our standard markets. Our premium placements will be, but there are times. What I find with the MGAs is that they're far more responsive and a lot quicker than what the major standard carriers are, because they want to write business and they're aggressive and they've got the pen and they'll get it done. So that's what differentiates them some. They're less cumbersome, I suppose. But I think your point is well made in terms of I think it's more definitely tier two. But here is also very different because the producer is king.
Yes.
So they're like independent businessmen and they do what they want. If you work for a large organisation in the UK, you fit within a box. You work within the company strategy, whereas I think they do to a degree here, as producers do, but there's more entrepreneurial approach. I wouldn't have thought that's the case in the major alpha houses, but certainly if you go down to the tier below, it's certainly a far more entrepreneurial approach, and they will work with who they want to work with.
They do whatever necessary.
Yeah. Whereas, I would say coming from the UK, that wouldn't be the case.
Yeah.
In the end of the day, you would deal with your standard market. Right. And we as brokers, we're looking to reduce the number of markets we work with. Right. So we'd like to probably only work with 10 markets and condense all our business into 10 markets and leverage that rather than working with hundreds of markets.
Of course.
A producer will want to get a deal done, so he doesn't care. It's just how do I get that deal done? So I think.
Sorry, we've had a few interesting conversations at the conceptual stage with some of the larger houses in why do we play a product like this. It's something that we're looking at a little bit further down the line. Where as you mentioned, as you try to kind of streamline and reduce the number of markets, we might be able to widen the list and say, we'll only list your 10. We list everything that they do, so therefore it becomes an in-house tool. Is that something? This is just.
So I think it depends on the broking house and it depends on their strategy. But I think that typically I would always envisage a strategy would be that you have a dedicated marketing team who only deal with the markets, who then obviously know all our markets, have that relationship, they develop it. But where you don't have that infrastructure, then of course it's going to work. Because it's an easy reference tool for the producer. What do I do? So it's a cheaper way of doing business, I would say. In that respect.
No, definitely. Well, thank you very much. Any other comments? In general, looking at
it looks good. It's easy to use. No, I think you've done a good job.
That's good to hear. We're looking at launching ideally before the IBU. We'd like to. We have a booth secured there. Granted that all goes well with testing. We're aiming to launch probably the week before. All of our testers will be first to know. We'll make sure that you get a little ahead start. Not that you will use it necessarily, but
No. But in terms of is the obscure things that naturally you would deal with day in day out. You think, who's going to do this? And it's just an easy reference point to think, I didn't think of that. So it's a good reference point in that respect. So I think that it looks good. Some of the names I'm not even familiar with. So.
You can probably even look at if you go down actually go back to the homepage. If you look at it'll be interesting actually to see how many of the names you would know if you were to provide us. We have.
So you got for example, you got the major ones, but some of the other ones I wouldn't be familiar. I'm familiar with April, I'm familiar with some of the major ones, but some of the other ones I just wouldn't be.
Yeah, absolutely. And what we're doing here as well, for guys like Zurich and Aviva, where we're not listing all of their product lines. We're listing their specialty stuff because, I think to begin with, the value is going to be in that the hard to place niche things that you don't think of them for necessarily.
So what you need there is pen underwriting, RMGA.
You guys are in Canada. We're looking at actually at the UK, we just launched in London about a year ago.
Right.
And I know the MJ model is nowhere near as significant as
It's a different model.
It's
different. So MGAs, how I explain to myself is that MGAs in the UK, they have the pen and they write business.
Yeah.
And they only write with a carrier that they got the pen for. Whereas MGAs here,
so they're exclusive with that carrier.
Yeah, and if they you got Mark Williams at MGA, and I got the Allianz, Aviva, RSA, Capacity Army. I write on my pen with them. Yeah. If it doesn't fit me, then it doesn't fit me. Whereas here, then as I understand, the MGAs will then go to their Lloyd's broker and try to, which is a conflict for us because we are Lloyd's brokers, so we have our own in-house people. So we don't need that facility. So MGA means a different thing, and I've learned that since I've been here.
Right.
Meant something different to me when I arrived to what it means to me today.
Yes. Interesting. Yeah. So I'm not quite clear on how it works in the UK yet. I thought Ken was only in the UK.
No, we've got one in Canada.
Ah, very good.
In Burlington. Tom Butler's,
Okay.
Tom Butler is the president of Pen and Bright.
Okay, perfect. We can probably get them there tomorrow. So yeah, I mean, we find you MGAs every day.
Yeah. Well, like you said, I mean, it's amazing.
It really is. But yeah, we'll definitely keep you posted.
No, thank you. No, that's very useful.
Yeah.
It's amazing how it's evolved from years ago, having all these books, like you said, directories and looking through them to find. I can't remember what the one was called in the UK, but it was an old thing. But
it's crazy. I mean, I joined this company to launch new products. I did my master's at Waterloo, and Waterloo in Canada is the digital hub. It's everything. All the geniuses, not myself, but all the tech geniuses come from there. And I remember, when I was doing the research for this product and having hundreds of conversations with brokers, when they told me what resources they use, I could not believe it.
Yeah.
It's like, we have this book we get every year.
Yeah.
And I literally flipped through it and I said, what? Are you crazy?
Yeah.
And it was astounding.
Yeah. Oh, no, absolutely. It's amazing.
Yeah.
The world's changed that. That's why you need this. The internet taking over. So.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you so much.
No, thank you very much. No, it's good. I apologize. It's slightly delayed.
Absolutely not. Because I knew that it wouldn't have taken an hour.
No, fine.
And I really appreciate the feedback. I hope it doesn't stop raining on.
No, I'm going to get an Uber.
Yeah.
A little bit. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.